The opinions expressed in the following podcast are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual or on any specific security or investment product. It is only intended to provide education and entertainment about the financial industry and the stock market. Enjoy.
Hey guys, we are on a break right now. We are, traveling or in Reno. We will be back around the 9th of September. However, we still recorded a podcast for you. Make sure to like us and give us a 5-star rating on Apple. Enjoy. On this episode of Pennies Going In Raw, we have on the creator of Atlas Trading, PJ Matlock.
Find out life's this game of pennies.
Oh, you guys know we only have a 40% runner. Hello, 40% is a fucking killing.
We've been compliant for too long. It's time we go to war.
I don't have a Roth.
Hugh knows so much about the market that his brain doesn't have enough room for grammar.
Hey, who told me about IDEX? It's going up a shit ton now.
We're up 4%, baby. No way. 4 fucking percent.
You asked the exact same question with 2 words different.
It's like, fuck, man, I just got dick whipped for like 20%, and now that f***er's up like 50.
I bet Warren Buffett never did that.
I'm just making this voice memo to call out unusual whales to a fight.
The pennies we need are everywhere around us.
Pennies.
Going in raw.
Featuring Dan, Deity of Dips, and Hugh Honey.
Produced by Vinny.
And Christian.
Let's go, baby.
Welcome back to another episode of Pennies Going In Raw. Today we have on the creator of Atlas Trading, PJ Matlock. We're making it through August. How's your August treating you?
Oh, it's been actually, man, I honestly thought it was going to be worse than this. It's been pretty good so far. I've had some of my best weeks the last couple of weeks. It's actually better than the end of July for me. July kind of got, wonky, but yeah, it's starting off nice. You just have to be really picky right now and just play the main runners and don't veer off too much.
It seems like those main runners are definitely a little continuing a good bit. How much aside from just being extremely picky are you having to change up your strategy for August?
Well, at first I was going a lot smaller and just kind of, like dipping my toe in the water because the last 4 August months have been horrible the last 4 years is what I mean. So, so I was just kind of going really slow and just easy at first. And then it's just because of COVID right now, it's spiked everything and we got Bitcoin running. So there's a little more momentum than normal, but still I don't trust it. So I hit my first few in the morning and then I take a long break and then, I'll be on my phone and come back power hour and find another one or see one of the runners that dipped and then, ride it back up kind of thing and hop out. Just kind of like what we do with Works today.
Yeah. No, I mean, we've been seeing, especially with Bitcoin continuing where it usually would drop on that Monday, but you're seeing it continue. It looks like it may even hit 50 this week. It's around 46. And we know when we drop this episode, it's going to be in a few weeks from now. So these numbers are going to be completely off. But
yeah.
we could have answers to a lot of the questions we're going to ask. Because I was going to ask, with all the COVID stuff coming back up, and it seems like every week there comes more and more rumors about shutdowns coming again.
Yeah. With the New York and California, they're all going back to masks and then they're mandating the shots and all this stuff. I mean, all that does is create more volatility in the market, which is what we thrive on. So, I mean, bring it on, whatever it's got to be.
I mean, all this does is I don't know what to think about if we'll go back and down to a lockdown, but all of these rumors, I think, are just signaling that the thesis of lower interest rates and the Fed keep pumping money into the market is going to continue, which to me, I mean, that's what the market's been running on and probably what the market continues to run on. So for me, it's like, hey, from a market standpoint, from the long-term basis, like 10 years from now, probably not a good thing. But right now,
Right.
SPY probably loves it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's like a lot of people, they get hung up on like what's going on in the world. Like as traders, every time something happens, we in our brains have like coded our brains to think what stock is going to be, react because of this. And we, trade the market. It took me a little while to like develop that mindset of like when something happens in the world, what stock is going to move because of it,
Yeah. Yeah. No. Oh, dude, all the time. If I'm sitting there, like, if I have a bad customer experience at Walmart, let's call it, I'm like, oof, like Walmart probably is short at this point. If I'm experiencing this in this store, I wonder what's happening down in, Missouri. I think it's really funny the way we do that.
Yeah. It's like, oh shit. Zach is drunk today and he's partying, so the market's going to be garbage, so let's just all stay away.
No, I think it's interesting. Like, you said you kind of start out and you're not even trading as much, just kind of in the morning and afternoon due to August. But you're still saying August isn't that bad right now. Are you just playing carefully, or like why aren't you trading all day if you're saying August isn't that bad?
Because like it's not that bad, but the runners they're you just kind of take the money as it comes. And then I want to take a break because of how the last 4 years have been for me in August. Like every single year, I mean, even Ricky Bobby in the room, I was going to say his name, but even Ricky, he says, every year we're just going to take a vacation for all of August. So even though it's good, I don't want to like, over analyze that and think that it's amazing and keep trading and then give profits back. So I just wait and kind of like Zach was saying in his post, you wait for the dips and you can load a little more because people are selling in the mornings pretty heavily. So you can add a lot more shares than normal. But like I said, at the beginning of August, I was kind of small, and today in the middle to end of last week, I started getting heavier with things.
Yeah. And for anyone listening, this is August 9th when we're recording this. So it's still about the, beginning of August. But it definitely seems like by the time you get comfortable enough to put 80% of your account on the street is when shit starts to go bad.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, the middle to end of August, things could change and it could be the traditional August we've known in the past. But for now, I'm just kind of taking it as it comes. In the morning, I just see like what's running, because the last 4 years, August, you wake up, you come to the computer, and the biggest gapper is like 5-10%. That's how it was before. So now there's still things moving. You wake up and you've got things up 50 to 100%. So that lets me know there's still more volatility and more volume in the market. So
honestly, I wouldn't even mind a little bit of a slower back end of August, maybe going into September, because I think that, I mean, who knows, but I think that we need a little bit of a slower weaker. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Let things
the market needs to breathe. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And as
things
we're
get too
talking
extended real fast, and then that's when it goes bad.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't even think I'd mind it. Also, I'm going on vacation, so for me it'd be like, it'd be a perfect opportunity. If it lined up great, I'm gonna be away from the desk for like 2.5 weeks for like the first time. Ever.
Same. I had I planned all these vacations in August. I've got one coming next week. I got my brother, my brother-in-law here in town this week. Like I had no plans of August being awesome. So, I was trying to be away.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask him about whenever, you see in the market slow in August. So at the beginning of August, when you were playing, expecting it to be a regular August, what is that strategy like for you when it is slow? Are you taking losses, cutting losses sooner? Are you taking gains really fast? And then how many days did it take you to kind of realize and be like, crap, these are continuing. I need to kind of stay in or play a little heavier?
Yeah, really, it's just it only takes a day or two. If you see things continuing and holding up, and then you're like, wait a second, like things aren't doing what they said what they've done in the past. So, in the beginning, what I do is if I have a feeling like next week's going to be crappy or tomorrow's going to be crappy, if I go like half size or quarter size, I'll usually get out quicker and take profits a little faster, scale out faster. I usually don't sell all my shares at once, just because things continue either direction. So like if you just buy all of a sudden and sell all of a sudden, it just, it can keep going. And I just have always liked the scale method. So, with the smaller size, I take my profits a little quicker just to make a few bucks and then get out, and then let like a quarter ride and see what it does.
Are you swinging anything during this month, or are you just, hey, let me make 2 to 4, maybe $6,000 and just be done with it and not carry any risk?
So yeah, like I'm still swinging. I'm pretty heavy in Wish, and I just got SOS today, and but mostly. Usually when I swing something, when I say I'm swinging something, I'm not Zach. He'll buy, and then the thing will dip $3 and he's adding more, and he buys the dips, and then it goes 500% or whatever. I'm not that trader, and so I have to actively trade. That's the way I am. Even on Wish, when I see it get a little extended, I don't really like to say this because I'm saying I'm holding Wish full, which I am, but I'll take a couple shares and just like, if I know that it's overextended and it might come back, I'll scale like 10. I've got like 220,000 shares. So I'll sell like 10,000 or 20,000 shares. And then when it comes back down, I'll just rebuy them. And because like my average on Wish was like in the 11s. And so when it would dip, I would just buy a bunch more shares. And when it would pop, I would kind of average down on it, And it's just trading. I've got the trading mindset. I can't get away from it. If I know that the chart is overextended, I'm going to be scaling. Like I can't sit there and just hold it and think it's going to keep going, or if it's too low, I'm not just going to like sit there when I know I could buy shares and it's going to bounce,
Yeah, I've been very vocal about trading around my my Wish position because you're in something for that long. You watch it, you always see it. You start to learn its personality a lot. And
yeah, at first, Wish was for me. It was terrible to day trade. Like it just didn't flow. It didn't flow very well. But now,
past couple weeks, it's been great.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it just, every day it pops at the open, then it dips, then it grinds, and it kind of does that same thing. Usually it'll start trickling back down, but today it held pretty well, like in the 1050s. So that's nice. But yeah, I mean, you just learn the personalities of all these staring at them every day,
Yeah. Touching on Wish, actually, because, we're a big Wish podcast over here. So like we said, guys, it is August 9th. So who the hell knows what's going to happen? I mean, the market could be down 20% by the time that we release this. But as we talked about this, we had talked about it, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, that Wish had broken that pretty major downtrend on, and I mean, right now it looks pretty good. And it's kind of creating this range. So it had that downtrend. Now it's kind of creating that, I'm going to mess this up. Is it horizontal? Is it horizontal?
Yeah,
range?
Horizontal is
hot dog.
Hot
dog. Yeah, hot dog. Okay,
it's consolidating a bit, and it's building strength.
A hot dog could be horizontal or vertical, depending on what way you're holding it, man.
Yeah, which way do you hold your hot dogs?
We'll say hot dog. The sideways dog.
Yeah.
Hot dog is this corn dog is.
Oh my god.
He's learning, man. He's learning.
Is it with the bun or without the bun?
I gotta go back to school. If any elementary school take me.
Oh my god.
So it broke the downtrend and it's consolidating inside this range. Honestly, if we can hold over 11 with good volume, I mean, we're primed. We're primed for that curl action back. I mean, we're just setting up like in a textbook. With Wish, are you holding for more of a catalyst? I mean, we're all kind of
I'm holding this thing like I'm an investor, already, like you guys know how I trade. Like I'm usually faster. I don't hold things too long. Wish is I've held this stock longer than any other stock I've ever been in my life. Like I that's how much I believe in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And usually I don't believe in companies. I don't believe it. I don't trust them for too long. They run up to the catalyst or they pop because of news and I get out and, move on to the next one. But this is a different story. And also like I've kind of used Wish and a couple others to break me because, I've noticed I've gotten out of a few things and just kind of growing as a trader and learning. And when I was down in Wish, I was like, my average was like 1130s or something. When I was down and I was seeing, I'm down a couple $100,000 and staring at the red every day, really helped me because usually if I'm red and I'm red for too long, I start cutting. Like I don't hold things. I'm not going to sit here and let it break my, mental state. So, yeah. But I've used this to kind of cause I kind of got to a plateau to where, I started making, it's all stupid money, but you start making X amount every day and you get used to that. And I hit a plateau of where I wasn't breaking any more thresholds, like before it was like, 10,000, 30,000, 100,000, 400,000 a day, and then things just keep going from there. But then you hit this like limit where you're not comfortable losing so much, but so it kind of caps your gains as well. You've got to grow with your account, So I've been using Wish and a couple others to just like break me of like being okay with being down that much. Yeah. It's because it's like a muscle, you've got to be okay with being down X amount and staring at it every day and not letting it ruin your day or ruin the next trade, because it does that so easily for everyone. You lose in one trade and then you carry it over to the next. So, and just like when you start, you're down $100 and that's like, I remember $100 ruining my whole day. And now if I see I'm down 200,000, I'm like, well, that sucks, but it doesn't ruin my life,
Yeah, no, but this was a point that we were trying to make for almost months, is that, people that came into the market and they had this huge success. I mean, even for me, until I guess it was about a month or two ago, I hadn't really had many swings. I mean, I had swings that didn't go well, but when I was waiting for catalyst, the swings were either just staying, stagnant and just inside a range, or they would go up for the last like 16 months. Like that's what it was, right. Like I really wasn't losing money on the swings that had no catalyst change.
Right.
And I mean, that kind of got me out of that mindset, because pre 2020, 2019 era, like I would be red 20% before the news came. And that was like normal swing. You know what I mean? So when we were kind of feeling this downward pressure, I guess it was a few weeks ago, like a few weeks ago, maybe a few months ago, when we went through that slower time period, it was odd for me. And I had to keep reminding myself, like, dude, this is what swinging is. Like, stonks just don't go up. Like that's not actually a real thing. And so I think I think getting that mindset back that, hey, like we do have you have to be careful about where you're position sizing, like you can't just buy and blow your entire load on like the first, the first averaging down. So I mean, and that's for me, that was mindset. Yeah.
And that's why I usually don't go all in right away. Like I hit it with, half size if I'm confident where it's at. And that way, if it dips, I'm cool to add more. And if it goes up, then I play it as it comes. But sometimes, I don't know if you get this ever, like, cause I didn't come from very much. So sometimes I'll get that broke again mentality where I'm like, like I was saying, you get used to seeing these red numbers. And sometimes when you look at it and you're like, damn, I'm down, X amount in this.
Oh,
and
yeah.
If you think about it in terms of like where you used to be, it can ruin your day. It's like, so sometimes I'll get that where I'm like, oh shit, like I could lose everything, but I've created, like, I have a couple buddies that are like, what if you, lose this or, lose big. I've created, I called it a life stop loss. So, I mean, as I've grown, you stack money away and you pay everything off and you take care of yourself. You get smart with money. It's funny, when I was broke, I was so dumb with money. Like I spent like so dumb with it. And now, like, I can spend money freely, but I don't, I'm still smart with it. I don't just go blow all my money on whatever. I paid everything off to where, if something does happen, the market, turns, that I've still got money in the bank. I've still got, this, what I call the life stop loss, that, like, I can't drop below this number. No matter what, I'm going to be good. And I think that was one of the hardest things to accomplish, honestly. But, everybody can do it. You just have to keep fucking going. That's the real thing.
Yeah, when it comes to taking out money, I know we've heard all these strategies. Like, even Zach, his first time here, mentioned he does it like whenever he first started, it'd be anything he made over 25,000, he'd be taken out. Obviously, that is an absurd number, which is completely unrealistic for the average listener to abide by. But how did you first start taking it out? Mine just started out with every day I made over 500, I'd take out 100. Then every day I made over 2,500, I'd take out 500, and it just built up.
Yeah. So, I mean, it does it gets ridiculous, and I know how this sounds, but usually I take out like anywhere from 30 to 50,000 a day. I know how that sounds, but I remember, like, as you said, like, early on, pretty much early on, whenever I first started and was actually making money, I was pulling out only when I needed the money. Like, oh crap, this bill's coming out. So there wasn't a real reward to it. Like, I wasn't getting anything out of trading, because if I made $1,000, it just went in one hand and out the other, and then I'd have to stack money away and hope the tax man doesn't kill me. So, but as you grow and you start, like, you break the $30,000 I say 30 because 25 is not the number. Everybody thinks you get to 25 and you're done. No, like, if you get to 25 and think you're done, you're going to be back under PDT that same day or next week, in the same week. So I say 30, and that way you have a little bit of cushion. And so for a while there, everything over 30 I was taking out until I got to where my credit card bills were down and I could pay my house note and everything was good. And then I started seeing, like, okay, I've got more money coming in now, and I'm making more and I'm pulling out less. Like, okay, cool. So then it was just like kind of paying myself like as the account grows, I would grow with it. It'd be like $500 a day or 200, and just grow it up to 1,000 and then keep going from there. And because what I found is, when you start paying yourself, that's the reward, you get for your hard work. And if all you're doing is sitting here every day staring at the screen and working hard, and you're not getting anything out of it, there's something subconsciously that's telling you to stop doing this. You're getting no real reward. So you have to reward yourself, but also you've got to make money and grow your account. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, but you just have to. Yeah.
I only take money out when I need to. Like, I think I got like 3, like, sometimes, like, I've gotten an overdraft fee this year. That was because I had a pretty big credit card expense, but
was it in Vegas?
Vegas is by far my largest purchase, and I got dude, what? Not even close. But whatever, tax write-off. Business meetings.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I've had like I'll tell you right now, like, I got 2, so the PGR bank account and my bank account look exactly similar, and neither of them have over $5,000 in it.
Oh my God, dude.
I'll open them both up right now. And so maybe, like, that's what I have to start doing, because I have 27. Okay, I have more money than PGIR. 2,700 and 2,100. So, maybe that's what I gotta start doing, because I really only pull out if I need to.
Yeah.
So maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe that's what I do. Because sometimes I do. You ever catch burnout? Because I catch burnout sometimes.
Yeah. And
like
honestly,
every few months.
That's one reason why I leave early too, is because I kind of get burned out, and I'm like, I can trade, like, I make just as much money from my phone these days, so I don't have to sit here and stare at 5 monitors in my face and 2 TVs. It's like it fries your brain, and you're so exhausted if you sit here from market open to market close. It's just, it'll wear you out.
What does your strategy, like, how does that change at all when you're on your phone? Like, you hop on your phone, is it just, okay, I'll buy something and now my risk management's down a little bit because I'm not paying attention, or how exactly is all that?
What's weird is usually on my phone I'm more patient because I'm usually I'm doing other things, and I just kind of like, okay, I'm in this stock, and if it dips, I've already got the number in my head, so if I see it, it doesn't affect me. And but yeah, I hold a little bit longer, and I try to find the things that'll grind a little bit more when I'm on my phone, and because it's a lot harder to scalp and to like scale out, so I try to find the things that grind a little more, and it's just less stress, and really it's like it's pretty much equal money, like. And even if it was less, man, stress management is so important. Like the trading is like, it's you versus you. That's the hardest part about it, is there's nobody else. It's not you against, you're not competing with anyone else. It's you against yourself. So like if you wear yourself out, you're only beating yourself up. You got to take breaks. You have to come back. I mean, just like in anything else, if you don't take breaks, you're not going to grow as fast as you could, like optimal state. So, I mean, if all you do is sit here and grind, I mean, I know I have the never quit mentality, but never quit, but take a break, like step away, come back clear-headed, and you're going to progress farther if you do that, in my opinion.
Well, that's definitely the complex, because in one hand, it's like, hey, you should take a break, because if you don't take a break, your trading could become significantly worse. And if your trading becomes significantly worse, then you lose money. But then you have, on the other hand, you're like, well, dude, like if I miss one trade, then that could be like $20,000.
Yeah, exactly. But
so it's a big complex.
Yeah, but you're gonna make it. If you know how to trade, you're gonna make it. Doesn't matter if you miss 1 trade or 5 or whatever. But it's just like working out in the gym. Like you can't sit there all day and do bench press or curls. You can't do 1,000 of those and stay in the gym for 2, 3. Well, you can stay in for a couple hours. I used to, but like if you stay like 3+ hours in the gym, you're not doing anything beneficial at this point. You're catabolic. Like you're not anabolic. You're not growing from this. This is like actually going the other way. So if you take a break, let things heal, come back. It's the same thing with with your mindset. And it's so easy to get wrapped up in this, and then you're watching every move, and as you watch and as you keep going, I feel like I get worse the longer I sit here, honestly, because you're just staring at everything,
overanalyzing.
Yeah, and that's a really good point about how some people just trade super well in the morning too, and then like you said, taking your break, come back for power hour. You're there for the 2 most volatile times with your brain at their sharpest point.
Yeah. And usually what I like to do is I see, Central Time, I see like 10 a.m. roll around Central Time, and I'll get up and I'll go to breakfast, go to a coffee shop, and like sit on my phone, and if I see anything, then go from there. And sometimes like I'll see one that I think is good, and I'm like rushing home as fast as I can to like get to the computer so I can trade it, and I'm like trying to buy while I'm driving, pulling over and shit. So yeah,
that's always my most dangerous driving is trying to sell.
Yeah, too. There's texting while driving, then trading while that's a whole other, because
texting I can look up. Trading. I'm
trading. Yeah, I don't give a shit about this car. I don't care if it wrecks. I don't care. Like I gotta make sure I'm in this trade.
You do the risk reward of the ticket, and you're like, there's no way this ticket could cost this much.
They're like, yo, I could get a DUI while driving from the back with my eyes closed while going 103 and a 20, and it's still
less.
I'm driving like 65 in a school zone. Like,
Oh God. Yeah.
Not looking.
watch out, kids.
This is horrible.
You know, like I mean, just goes to the point. You're, always gotta be trading. I think that's the point. But no, I think always trading. So you post a lot of alerts, whether it be in Atlas or on Twitter. What do you think would be the best way to kind of, for someone that's just listening now, they see your alerts, they've just been watching them. Which ones do they take? Do they just watch them? How do they defer? Which ones are swings?
Usually if it's a swing, I'll say it. And I've kind of had to get like, I went away from a lot of alerts like a couple weeks ago or a month ago, and I got a little more quiet on Twitter and quiet in the room, and because I get sick of the attacking and stuff like that. But people go away, and things get better. So, but what I would say is don't, like, even if I say like I buy this stock at fucking $10, don't buy it at $10, but like wait, look at it, see if it looks good to you. If it looks good to you, then buy it. If not, then don't buy it. Like wait for a dip. If I say like $10, like I'm in at 10 and it spikes to 10.50, don't buy it at 10.50. You know what I mean? Like look at it, unless you really think it's a good deal. Like that's kind of how I trade. I look at it, is this a good deal or not? And if it's not a good deal, don't buy it. Don't get FOMO. Don't get the fear of missing out. Just there's always another one. Like just leave it.
So you kind of just like mentioned just off top that your strategy kind of entails like, if it looks good, buy it. But I mean, there are all these people that kind of ask, like, how do you find these stocks? Do you use a scan, or is it volume? Is it level 2? What are you using to kind of find all these?
So like, I kind of consider myself a little bit like a jack of all trades, because it's you have to be adaptable. You can't, like, I'm not a swing trader. I am more of a day trader, but I'm not a full day trader. Like I'm not a scalper. Like I'm kind of all of it, and and you got to learn to be able to do everything, in my opinion, to survive, because the market's always changing and you got to adapt with it. So if all you know how to do is scalp, and then scalps quit working, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? So
are you using scanners a good bit still, or
yeah?
Because I know you used to be so into computer coding and everything. I was like, damn, I'm surprised you don't have an algo do it all for him now.
Yeah. I have made a couple, but I don't really turn them on or anything, but I have made a couple just kind of messing around, and I kind of like trading. I like doing it, so I don't really want to just set a computer and leave. But yeah, I use trade ideas, and I have Pepper in the room. I listen to the same crap. I've got Benzinga Charlie up, and I'm always watching the news and everything. But lately I've been posting more information and less alerts, I guess, because I mean, even though, like, if I post like a stock and I say, like, someone's loading this, I'm not in it. That doesn't mean I bought it, but maybe someone else might know something about that company, and then I said, hey, like, I see someone loading this, and they're like, oh shit, well, they've got something coming on the 19th. And I don't know they have something coming on the 19th, but you do. That's information that you can use to make a decision, So I've kind of been like, I'll go to where, like, if I'm at the computer, I'll try to post more information and kind of less alerts, and that I feel like that helps people more than just saying, hey, I bought this here.
Fish.
Yeah, because I mean, it's so hard. It's so vague, dude. It's so vague to say when people ask, like, what's your strategy? There's no way to answer that question. There's no, like, oh, wait for the dip, where, when the market opens, every runner dips and you buy the dip. And you can't trade that. That doesn't mean anything, because the company news might be garbage, and it popped for no reason because, like, it got pumped or whatever, and then it just tanks, and you just keep trying to buy a dip that keeps dipping. So you got to learn, like, how to actually trade and which ones are good versus bad. And I mean, I'm still learning too. Everybody, you learn all the time. I'm not saying like I'm like the best or I know everything, because I damn sure don't. But I just keep growing and learning as I and keep going.
Yeah, I think like one of the things you pointed out is you got to learn to trade, and I think one of the things obviously that entails is just massive amounts of screen time, and not only that, but it's finding these stocks can also just mean knowing the sympathy. Because I mean, a lot of your poster, this is lagging behind. This may get a pop, something kind of like this, knowing that they're direct sympathies. The second you see the other one running or the second you see the other one has news is such a good advantage to have.
Right. Yeah. And I'll have guys that like message me, hey, what about this sympathy? What about this? And sometimes sympathies don't work. But whenever you have Bitcoin running and you see Riot running and you look at Mara and Mara's down and, there's not a ton of dilution happening or something crazy news related, oh, well, Bitcoin's up. Mara's probably going to curl here if it looks fairly cheap to me, and, I might scale in and then ride it up a little bit. But yeah, I mean, you just have to be adaptable. Like I said, it can't just be, it can't just be sympathies. It can't just be, breakouts. It can't just be dip buys, which, I mean, I usually never buy on like a green. I hate buying things when they're up. I hate breakouts. Do not work for me. Some people love breakout, dude. 10 times out of 10, if I buy a breakout, I will lose.
They don't look like a good deal.
No, it doesn't look like a good deal. And honestly, when things break out, that's when I'm like scaling out. That's when I'm saying, okay, there's volume. There's people there's a lot more volume happening right now. I can get out easily here versus when it's just slowly trickling up. If I try and sell, I'm going to crash the stock and it's not going to do anything. It's just a waste. So,
I think one of your biggest accomplishment everyone knows about is your green streak. I don't know if it's still continued or if there are a couple red ones in there.
There's a couple red ones. So I had what was my biggest losses? Knows.
I do know. We had a few.
Yeah. So far I've had two red days, two big red days. If I I may have had a third one that was small, but yeah, still, I mean, my green streak is like over a year, and I mean, it's so like people.
I mean, it's impressive regardless.
Is that not stupid? That's the dumbest thing.
It's the consistency of it, I think, and that's the key to trading.
Yeah. And honestly, that's all I ever wanted in trading. When I first started, I didn't want to be a multi-millionaire. All I wanted was, I've got a family, I got a wife, daughter, and I've got to provide for them, so I can't just be like that single mentality that I used to have where you just, make $1,000, have $1,000. So I had to do it that way, and that's what I wanted was consistency for them mainly, not even for me, just, But
did you find it hard after so many green days? You're finally red. Was it more of like relief, or was it
relief.
More? Yeah,
huge relief because honestly, what I found is I would be swinging something and I would hold a stock and I would I know that this is going to continue, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm red today. But if I sell half of this, it'll bring me green. So
sacrificing the bigger move for today being green.
And it was it got so stressful because I wanted to hit that year mark. First I wanted to hit 100 days and I hit that, then 200, and I was like, I got to get to 252 because that's, a year in trading, blah, blah, blah. So it was stressful for me, honestly, because every day I had to perform. And if I didn't trade for a day, which only happened twice, I didn't count those as days green. I would say oh, today's only 180 days green. And if tomorrow I didn't trade, it's still 180. So I didn't add a day if I didn't make money at all, but I mean, green to me, green was green. If it was $200, I was still green for the day. If it was 200,000, green, whatever. It was just being green every day was my goal. And honestly, man, it was stressful. And when I did have the red day, I don't even remember which stock it was. I don't care, but I remember I was down $220,000 right before market close, and I was like, "There's no way I'm coming back from this in 10 minutes." So I got up and I walked in the kitchen. I got some water, and I just kind of started laughing, and I was like, man, I feel so relieved, and it was a good run. Like, who the hell does that? It's the most. Actually, there is one other guy in Atlas who wishes to remain anonymous, and he was over a year and a half green, and he just, I mean, he kept me updated every day, but he beat me, you know. But he
That's
didn't want to tell
insane.
anybody. Yeah, it's crazy. It's stupid. Like, what? The
I have
hell,
at least
man?
like a red day or two a week minimum.
But yeah, but I think it causes you to like if you keep trying, like it's nice to be green and be consistent, but it kind of held me back a little bit if I'm being honest, because like I said, seeing Wish down, I was using Wish to break me, like holding this stock and seeing the red, and any stock, you know, holding it and seeing the red and being okay, that, you know, that's what helps you grow, you know, as crazy as that sounds.
Every chart needs a pullback, even if it's the one on your account.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it can't just go vertical and be that way sustainable forever. And even if it does, like I said, green was green. So if it was $200, I was like, oh, sweet, green. But I knew that I could do more than that. So I mean, honestly, it helped me, but it also held me back in some ways. And I'm trying to strengthen,
rectify that issue.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, that's the cool thing though about trading. I mean, that's the awesome thing is that, I mean, you can be an awesome trader, but you'll never be the best you can be. You know, like, which is so cool to me. Like, I think that's so awesome. Like, you know, when I listen to some people talk about their careers and stuff, and they're like, yeah, like there's really no, you know, lateral movement. You know, it's only really from side to side from here, unless I go and get another college degree or something. I'm like,
exactly.
shit.
Yeah. See, when I first started going to college, it was for computer programming. That's what I wanted, computer science, you know, because I did it since I was 13. So I figured, okay, keep this up because it's something I know how to do. But when you're a computer programmer, you are a computer programmer. You're never going to grow. You might become the manager of the computer programmers, you know, the software engineers of your department or whatever. But you're not gonna go anywhere from there unless you branch out and create your own business or do something
in your free
entrepreneurial.
time, yeah.
Exactly. So I mean, I've never I don't like having a cap to anything. Like if I can't keep going, I don't like doing it. You know, like I want, like, same thing when I got into the gym years ago and I was like, that's all that mattered to me. It was every day. It was my life, you know, and I knew that there was no limit to how much I could grow and how strong I could get or whatever. And, you know, goals change and things change. I haven't been killing it as much anywhere near in the gym, but I just use it a lot as an example. But yeah, I mean, it's nice not having limits other than the same thing in the gym. It's you versus you. There's no one else can do the work for you. You can't, like, I've got friends that talk about trading and they just say like, oh yeah, I'm going to figure it out. Yeah, I'm going to hope trading works. You can't hope trading works. You can't just say, yeah, I hope I figure this out so I can quit my job. It doesn't work like that. Like you have to learn the shit. Like there are some people that learn it quicker, like Tommy, for example. He's one of the people that I think learned pretty quickly, you know,
Agreed.
I mean, like, dude, it took me years to be where Tommy is. And I think that there are more things now than like me and Zach were coming up, and there was not places like Atlas, and there wasn't a lot of Twitter people, you know, like the biggest Twitter guy had like 20,000 followers or 15,000. And I thought that was insane, you know? So,
Dude,
yeah. I mean, the fact that we control like our risk management, like I always compare it to a video game. You can try leveling up without dying ever. And that's cool. It may be boring, but if you want to level up fast, you're taking on all the motherfuckers the same damn time.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You got to grow. Yeah. You got to do it. Yeah.
But what do you think, aside from just taking less gains on swings, what was your main thing? If let's say someone's at 5 weeks in a row green, and they're like, hey, if I can get to 3 months, what was your advice to them aside from just like keep consistent?
So what I did, it only took me, I remember my wife being like, dude, just make $50 a day. Just like, and I couldn't do it. I remember not being able to do that. And even when I went to where at one point I was making like $400 ish a day and 500. And then I wiped my confidence or whatever. And then I was back down. And all it took for me was about a week and a half of green. And I kind of sat back and I did like a little bit of self-reflection and kind of like, I won't say meditation, but a form of meditation. Like I was sitting in the shower, I remember it. And
crying in the shower.
Yeah, I was just sitting there crying my eyes out. No, and no, I was sitting. It was early in the morning, and I woke up and I was just sitting in the shower, and I was like, "Okay, what the fuck has happened recently? Like I've been killing it this last 2 weeks. What have I done differently?" And I realized that one, I was listening to myself more rather than other people, because I mean, dude, I can't. There's certain people that are great traders that they can post a play. I don't care. I will lose 10 times out of 10 with their trades. And it's just, they make money. Two people can get in the same stock at the same time and one win and one lose. That's just the way it is. So it's all your style and how you are, as a person, and it all correlates to trading. But so I asked myself, like, what have I done differently? Okay, I've listened to myself, and all I said to myself was, okay, don't change a damn thing. Just every day, do the exact same thing you're doing right now. And the only thing that I would say I did differently changed was my position sizes. Like I would slowly, very slowly, because I used to be either 0 or 100, like either I'm not in or I'm all in. And I told myself, okay, slowly, like I've got my account to 30, 40, 50,000. Okay, now when I'm sizing in, like go a little bit bigger this time and get used to that number, and then go, like I said, it's a muscle you exercise. So you can't just throw like 500 pounds on a bench press and think you're going to nail it right out of the gates. You got to slowly get there and build strength, right? It's the same thing with trading. So you slowly build your risk tolerance and how much you're able to lose and be okay. So I just pretty much told myself to keep doing the same thing I've been doing, focus on my strengths and not my weaknesses, because I think too many people focus on their weaknesses. They look at everything they're doing wrong and not what they've done right, So yeah, that's pretty much what I did.
Yeah. All right, Hugh, you got anything?
No, dude, I think this was I love this episode. It's just talking, traders talking. I love it.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a good thing that we're able to get like strategies the second time around, because the first time around we always everyone wanted to hear the story of Atlas,
the backstory,
story of how you started. So it's good to get the middle grounds, and then whenever you come back again, we'll get how it's pumping out from there. But I really appreciate you coming on again, man, and I guess we'll see you in Reno.
Yeah, and I'm so fucking proud of you guys. Like, I just,
Thanks, man.
like seeing you come up has been one of the coolest things ever. Like, so proud of you guys. So love y'all. You're the best ever. And
Thanks,
thank you
man.
for having me.
None of it's possible without you guys, and we'll keep it up for you.
Yeah, baby. Let's do it. Later, brother.